What's going on, everyone? Like Sports, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be recapping the New York Giants. Very awful loss to the LA Chargers in a game where the score was not as bad as the game was, because the Giants at one point were down 30-7. Just 37-7 rather. It was just an awful game. A really, really bad game. They ended up losing 37-21, but they were down 30 at one point. So that tells you all you need to know about this game. Not good from the Giants. Granted, they have Mike Glennon under center, who, that guy's a disgrace. I don't know how Dave Gettleman looked at that guy in the offseason and said, I'm going to give this guy $1 million. It just doesn't make sense. He sucks. Plain and simple, he might be even the worst backup in the NFL. He's that bad. He is terrible. People are going to look at the stat line and say, oh man, Mike Glennon was really, really good. 3 total touchdowns, but the guy sucked. He was 17 for 36 with 191, 2 touchdowns, interception, passer rating of 70.5. He was just not good. Outside of the Cal Rudolph play and garbage time, he had under 100 yards. He was that bad in this game, so he's not good. The Giants, in the first quarter, they hung around. It was a 7-7 game, and they played pretty decent. They had a rough drive where the Chargers scored the touchdown, but they had a really good offensive drive. It was a quick drive. Rudolph had a 60-yard hookup with Glennon, and then it was capped off by an Eli Penny 3-yard touchdown pass. So I guess you could say that was decent there. But other than that, really, there was nothing good about this game and the last 4.5 minutes, because the Giants put up 15 points, recovered an onside kick. When the Chargers were, cruising and just thinking about Thursday night against Kansas City. But the one play that I think pissed everyone off was when the score was 17-7. The Giants had 3rd and 11. Well, realistically, it starts, behind that. The Giants are on the LA 41, 1st and 10, with 2 or so minutes to go. And in this first half, and they go backwards 2 yards, and then a disaster occurred. The Giants came up with a couple of nice defensive plays. I believe they had a 3rd and 11, where the Chargers were about to give the Giants the ball back. We were going to go in down by 10. And instead, all hell breaks loose. Herbert's he gets smoked, and he just decides to heave the ball up when the Giants are playing zone, and Jalen Guyton's standing, wide open in double coverage for 59 yards and a touchdown pass to make it 24-7. That was the game right there. First off, the Giants not converting at least one first down or getting any points after starting off on the Chargers 41. They didn't even get a positive yard. That was the first thing. That was where this game went backwards, downhill, completely embarrassing. That was just one of the little things. They try to fake punt with Dixon, who, he's the worst punter in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. The guy's embarrassing. He sucks. I don't know. The Giants are going to cut him, save $3.25 million. That's the most obvious thing ever. He sucks. He's terrible. The O-line continues to struggle. We saw Matt Parrott. He was just awful, and now we know why Joe Judge plays Nate Solder over Matt Parrott. That guy sucks. He's not going anywhere. It was just a waste of a draft pick. Aaron Robinson, if we're going to look for moral victories, Aaron Robinson was good. Devontae Booker was good. He's been good pretty much all season for us. He's a good running back. Saquon Barkley, he was decent. Probably had one of his better games of the year. Azeez Ojulari had another sack. Dexter Lawrence had a sack. Azeez Ojulari in his rookie season right now is all the way up to 7.5 sacks. I mean, that's very, very good for the rookie out of Georgia. He's been very good. But realistically for the Giants, not much to take from this. I mean, the coaching staff, Joe Judge has not done a good job at all this year. He's been awful. And, if he didn't have a good season last season, I would absolutely want the guy fired. I mean, I feel like just because we see some potential in him, and it sucks to move on from a head coach after 2 seasons for 3 straight times, I would hold on to him. But if he had this year, last year, and did it again, no doubt about it, I would want that guy canned. All in all, though, guys, the Giants, they have some tough decisions staring them in the face. The offseason is going to be a good one. The Bears lost, which means the Giants, if the draft were tonight, they would be drafting 5th and 6th overall. So that's a very good thing for the Giants. But they have some decisions to make in the next year or 2. What do you do with Daniel Jones? What do you do with Saquon Barkley? What do you do with Joe Judge? What do you do with a whole ton of guys on this team? And it's tough. I mean, I believe next year we're going to have a lot of this I've said this and I'm going to say it again. A lot of the players on this roster are going to be back next year, and this, next year is going to be the evaluation year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to have a healthy squad, hopefully, and we're going to evaluate everyone as a whole with Joe Judge. This is what I think is going to happen. A new GM, a couple of first, round picks, top 10, and we're going to, revisit this and see what we have. What do we got in Barkley? What do we got in Jones? Can we extend these guys? These are all the big questions we're going to have next season, and hopefully in the end they work out, but it doesn't look too great right now for the Giants. They're one of the worst franchises over the past decade in the NFL. But that's all I got in this video, guys. Tough loss for the Giants. They continue to get embarrassed every week, and they fall to 4-9. The Chargers improved to 8-5 after the 37 to 21 victory in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. You guys let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on this game. And as always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. Let's go Giants.